Peace, family. I'm Ron, the Promised Land consultant, and I'm dedicated to serving you from sun up to sun down. Dedicated, family, to seeing you planted, growing, and manifesting in your Promised Land. Family, it's so good to be here with you today. And for those of you who don't know, what you need to know is that I'm a Promised Land consultant. And what that individual does is they motivate you, they push you, and they encourage you to get to that land that flows with milk and honey. It's where your dreams are. It's where your hopes are. It's where your aspirations are. And it's where you need to be. It's the land that you need to own. And how do I motivate you to get there? It's simple, family. I do it through stories. I do it through analogies. I do it through different messages. I do it, family, with everything in me. I do it with my energy. I do it with my vibrations. I do it with the words that I speak to you, because I love seeing people get to where they're supposed to be. I love seeing people make the most of their life. And I love seeing them come through the dark times and finding the light. The message that I've pieced together for you today, family, like a puzzle, is none other than don't let the regrets come for your neck, family. And this is important because anybody that has goals, anybody that's going somewhere, anybody that is fighting in this life has regrets. They have moments where they have missed the mark. It happens to each and every one of us. But what we can't do is let the enemy replay over and over those circumstances, the times, and those moments where we didn't get it right. Because that's what the enemy wants to do. He wants to play those moments in our mind again and again and again and again. And as you do that, and you believe what the enemy's feeding you about yourself, that noose, those regrets around your neck get tighter and tighter and tighter. Family, don't let the regrets come for your neck. Now today, I'm going to go over 3 ways that you can stop those regrets from coming for your neck. But first, it's that time again. It's story time, family. So act like you know what time it is. In 2004, I was playing a sport, and I was one of the best on the field as far as at the school that I was at, and I had earned myself a scholarship to go to anywhere I wanted to. But one of my main problems and one of my main regrets in my life is I didn't want to go to class. You would not find my ass sitting in class. It never happened. I was a king of truancy. I hated going to school. I loved learning, but I did not want to be stuck in that institution, boxed in a room, listening to people that didn't like me and the people that I didn't like. So I didn't go, and that was an issue. So that landed me right in, you know it, family, in junior college. And let me tell you, I didn't want to be there either. But I needed to be there because as I took on that journey of JUCO, or junior college as they call it, I learned a lot about myself. I learned how to get a new vision. I learned how to change the narrative. I learned how to hold the vision and trust and believe in the vision, family. And that's what we are going to look at right here. So the first thing you want to do when you find yourself in a place that you don't want to be in, and you're trying to claw your way out, you're trying to kick, punch, climb your way out of that, because that's what you have to do. The first thing you have to do is change the narrative.
Get a new story, sucker.
And that simply means that you have to see yourself in a different light. Yes, you got yourself here. You took some wrong turns. You did some things that you shouldn't have done. But you now have to take this moment, take this time that you're in right now. And as those regrets pop up in your mind, this is life giving you the opportunity to change the narrative, like Fox News does, like CNN, MSNBC, and all those channels do. You need to change that narrative so it uplifts you. You need to change that narrative so it puts air in your tires, not flatten your tires, because it's the narrative and it's the vision that's going to push you where you need to go. When I got to JUCO, One of the first things that our coaches told us was over 80% of the people who come here don't make it out, and it's because of their bad habits. And one of the first things I started telling myself is, yo, I do go to class. I like class. I told myself I was going to go to class, and I started looking for accountability partners on that team that could hold me to it, and they did. And it was one of the number one reasons I got out of there, was I found somebody to hold me accountable, and I changed the narrative. Me and my accountability partner, we talked to each other how we were going to make it out of there. We talked to each other about how times were going to get better, even though we were stuck in the middle of nowhere, doing something that we didn't want to do. We were going to figure it out. The next thing that you want to do is, once you change the narrative for your vision and your life, is you want to hold the narrative, or hold the vision as I like to call it, but hold the narrative. And this means that every time this comes back up in your mind, there's going to be two different reports for the story, for whatever regret it is that you have. One of the reports is going to want you to take a negative view of what's happening. The other report is the new report that you've made, where you've changed the narrative. Hold on to that new narrative. Hold on to that blessing that's in that new story that you're telling yourself. You're not telling yourself a lie, but you're telling yourself something that will uplift you, that you will get better, that you are going to do better. Hold on to that. The moment you start feeding into those lower vibrations, the moment you start feeding into what the enemy wants to feed you, you're done. You're done. It's over. Yo, case closed. Don't let it happen, family. You have to hold on. Hold it like it's your favorite vision. Hold it like it's your love. Hold it like this is the last vision that you have, because it just might be. Life doesn't always give you multiple chances to get to your promised land, and you just never know when it's your last day. You have to hold the vision, hold that new narrative that life has given you. Don't let it go. Believe in it, foster it, baby it. An example of this that I could give you happened to the nation of Israel as they were coming out of Egypt and going to their promised land. When they got to the threshold of their promised land, they sent out spies into the land. The spies came back with two reports, one good report, one bad report. There was only two people, I think, that believed the good report, and all the rest believed the bad report. And this was their demise, because the first generation of Israelites that came out of the promised land, or they came out of Egypt, they didn't make it. They didn't make it into the promised land because they didn't believe. They didn't believe the new story, the new narrative that was being told but to them by their leader. Their children made it in because their children believed. Their children didn't have a negative mind frame. And this is what you need, family, is to remember. Believe, but hold on to that new story. Hold on to that new narrative. Next, after you have a new narrative, after you hold the narrative, hold the vision, as I call it, whatever you want to call it, next thing that you need to know is trust and believe. And this is my favorite one, so that's why I got it right here. As you see, trust and believe. And this means that you trust what life is taking you to. And when I say life, I'm talking about the algorithm that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob has put into this realm, into this dimension, which we call life. Sun goes up, sun comes down. Water goes in, water comes out, right? It's systematic the way things happen in this world. That's just an algorithm, the algorithm of life. You need to trust in what life is taking you through, because it's systematic what the Most High is trying to pull out of you. Trust. And then the next thing is you believe. You believe that what you are going through is you believe that you're going to make it to the end. You believe that you're going to make it there. See, you're trusting the Creator, but some people don't believe that they're going to make it to where they need to go. You have to have that belief that you're going to make it there. You have to have that belief that that vision that you saw, that new narrative that you have, it's gonna have the happy ending that you believe that it will. There may be some bumps along the way. There's gonna be times when you fall on your face, but it's all for a reason. You have to believe. You've got to trust the creator and then believe that you are going to make it there. I know they seem like they're the same, but they are different. Family, one other thing I want to point out is you see these prayer hands up here. That's me praying to God. That's just my way of honoring the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the only God that we put hands to together in here, and his risen Messiah, of course. Just wanted to point that out. But family, those are my 3 points for you, so you don't let the regrets come for your neck. And of course, they were: change the narrative, get a new story about yourself. The second one was hold the narrative. Spend time with it. Don't let life make you believe the other report, because the regrets are going to come up, but you're going to believe the story that you've made about yourself, about the new narrative for those regrets. So they uplift you, so they build you. And the third one was trust and believe. You trust God, and then you believe in everything that he's going to take you through has an outcome that's favorable for you. Family, that's how you make sure that the regrets don't come for your neck, family. All right? And once again, I'm Just Ron, the Promised Land Consultant,
We are blessed
dedicated
from sun up
family
to
to
sundown,
serving you
family. We are
from
more
sun
than
up
conquerors,
to
family.
sundown.
Yea, the
Dedicated
Creator
family to
slay us.
seeing you
We will
planted,
trust in him.
growing,
We have belief,
and
family. This is all
manifesting
that we need,
in
family.
your
You in this
promised
indeed,
land. I hope
family.
each and
This
every
is
one of you
agreed.
have a
We are
blessed
gonna
one
make them
until I
see.
catch you in the
Today,
next
everybody
one.
is going
Make
to
sure you
believe that
like,
we are
comment, or
taking the lead,
subscribe,
but we
or I'm
all
gonna get
see
you. I
the
promise
blessings
you,
that are
I'll
coming
find you.
towards us.
Make sure
The
you
blessings that
subscribe.
are
Make
inside
sure
of
you
us, they are
like it. I
here.
need them
They are
thumbs up,
here, and
and
you
make
can
sure you
hear
praying out there.
as
All right,
those
family?
blessings are
I'm gonna
coming
see
to
you in the
you.
next
Step
video.
up to your
Believe
promised
that.
land. Step up to that place. Step up to where you want to be, and step on the head of the snake.